Today we are talking about how to be the most effective entertainer at an invasion. First of all, I would just suggest getting one set of buffs. It's for movement speed, and if you want experience gain, that's not going to do anything, but it's just to have something there. First thing you need to do, talk to the Imperial Field Commander and ask what entertainers will do. He will give you a quest under your entertainer quests to remove fatigue, and that is essentially all that you need to focus on specifically during this portion, the building phase of the invasion. Probably one of the most useful characters because you can build and you can cure fatigue, and you can do both at the same time. So you can just cure your own fatigue if you really wanted to and make some good GCW, and you can actually be the top contender when it comes to GCW at an invasion from being an entertainer. So you do that, you grab your missions, you have 10 ticks before you have to go and get a new mission. A little bit of a pain in the butt because that will add up very quickly, but once you get that going, you're making GCW and you're helping your fellows out. The next step during the attack phase, that is where it's the most important, so let's cut to that. Entertainers play a very critical role when it comes to invasions. After you've cured all of the fatigue that you can, which you can still do during the combat phase, you need to get your butt in gear because you need to get out to every single patrol point you can. If you click on the base of it, you'll get a quest to entertain it. It gives you a 30-second quest. You can either dance or play music and entertain the troops. This will give them a buff. As you can see here, I've already done it with VK 189 here. It gives them a 1,000 point innate armor boost plus 5% damage reduction. Not bad. It will help a little bit. The thing is, once the NPC has been killed, it needs to be done again. And the problem is usually they've been killed because the enemy has sort of overrun the lines there. So you need to be out there getting on the front lines and doing this quest as quickly as possible, because once those NPCs start dying, you're pretty much out of luck. You don't have a choice, and sometimes they get bugged. You can see here, technically I clicked on this guy, but the other sort of dark trooper here, he was the one that actually took the quest, so to say. He was the one watching or listening. So you have to do it. You have to try to get as many of them done as possible. My suggestion is to go to the front lines first. Get out there as far out as you've built out and do those ones first. That's where the NPCs will come first, and they aren't able to watch or listen when they're in combat. And sometimes they'll just be stuck in combat. Even if the player or NPC is long gone, they'll still be stuck. So make sure you get it done as quickly as possible. As we're doing here, I'm trying to get all of the guys around the general done as fast as I can so that at least this ring, the entry line defense around the general, is completely built up in terms of these buffs. And once again, you can see here, I've clicked on this Stormtrooper's patrol point, but it's the Dark Trooper that's actually watching it. The quest doesn't really matter. It comes down to which NPC actually watches it. So once we're done with Mr. Dark Trooper, I'm going to click again to get a quest for the Stormtrooper, and we'll do him again. And you do have to stop your entertaining. You have to stop skill animating in between each time. So you see here, I have to stop, do it again, grab my mission, start my entertainment. Now, the next quest, probably better known, this is the one that most people do and most people are aware of, is to rally the troops. Again, that's a quest you need to pick up from the defense coordinator himself. So you pick it up, and you go and find a group of demoralized Imperials. They usually spawn in clusters of 3. At the beginning of the invasion, they spawn 1 at a time. So you'll find groups of 1 or 2 for a little bit, and then eventually they'll have a group of 3. Since the mission needs 3, you might as well try to wait until you've got that 3 group and start skill animating. After a few minutes, about 30 seconds or so, they will put the Imperial logo above their head. They'll do like an emote, and you can talk to them. Pick any of them really, but I always pick the first one. I say that's understandable, and then always the first option. The Imperials fight to maintain peace across the galaxy. If you do the wrong one, you essentially demoralize them again, and you're going to have to stop skill animating and restart just to be able to do it all over again. Each time you do that quest, you need to go back to our Imperial Field Coordinator here and do it all over again. It's a bit of a bummer, but once you get the flow of it, once you know where the NPCs are, you can do it pretty quickly and get these groups going, and they will go out, depending on the invasion, they'll either head towards the general or they'll head towards one of the barricade setups that we've got and help reinforce the front lines. Now that emote only stays for a bit, so you got to be kind of quick, and if you're not paying full attention, then it will kind of end itself. You'll have to restart your skill animating and get them to do it again. So you keep doing that. Those guys will respawn no matter what. If the patrol points that you were entertaining before are destroyed by a spy, which is something we're going to be covering later on, then you're out of luck. You cannot redo those. But you can see here, if we click these guys, they've been in combat, they're still kind of stuck. They still have their buffs, but chances are I'll have to come back and redo them if we're able to push the enemy back a little bit to at least get back to where we are right now, have no combat in the area, and make things work out a little bit better. So that's about it. It's very simple what you can do as an entertainer, but so vital. It is so critical that there are entertainers on invasions, and especially if you can be an actual at the keyboard entertainer and not sort of what I'm doing here for this demonstration and switching between multiple characters just to get everything done. Entertainers are key, and they can make or break the success of an invasion.